Good day and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, in this episode, I wanted to talk about Mexico and its ongoing problems with the drug cartels located throughout Mexico. And specifically, what is occurring inside of the Mexican state of Guanajuato. And what is happening there is something that I think quite possibly we could start to see in other parts of Mexico as well, if not already starting to see it, because some of the things that are occurring um, are uh, are not being talked about out of fear. So, what is exactly occurring inside of Guanajuato, Mexico? Well, the drug cartels are very active and have declared war against elements of the state and municipal polices inside of the state of Guanajuato. The drug cartels are now seeking out police officers, municipal police, state police, specifically inside of Guanajuato. They are kidnapping them, torturing them, finding the names and locations of other police officers where they physically live, where they live on their days off, finding out where their family members reside. The drug cartels are then going to these residents where these police officers lived. They are then torturing and killing the family members of these police officers. And then they're actually killing the police officers themselves. I think in the last year, from the start of the year, something around 70 Guanajuato police officers, state police officers, have been killed. That's more than the entire fatality rate for all police officers killed in the line of duty in the United States. And Guanajuato has a population of about 6 million people, so quite a bit smaller. And I believe since 2018, well over 200 Guanajuato police officers have been killed by these drug cartels. And unfortunately, the president of Mexico has declared a hugs, not bullets strategy against these drug cartels. And unfortunately, this strategy of curtailing law enforcement, of preventing law enforcement from conducting operations against some of these homicidal cartels, have emboldened these cartels into taking more drastic action against these law enforcement entities. And unfortunately, if this type of program, if this type of strategy launched by these drug cartels is effective in Guanajuato, you can absolutely expect it to be seen in other areas of Mexico as well. If it's already not being done inside of other areas of Mexico as well, the press inside of Mexico, the media, has been targeted, and I fear that many of the newspapers and media outlets inside of Mexico probably fear to report against these drug cartels out of fear of retribution. And quite frankly, if they can target the police and kill judges inside of a state, well, what's then to stop these cartels from going after the press and media? Well, nothing at all. So the question is what is a state supposed to do, such as Mexico? Well, I believe that it is going to have to remove very quickly the strategy of hugs and not bullets. It is going to need to partner probably not just with the United States, because there are things the United States will do and there are things the United States will not do when it comes to Mexico. And unfortunately, I think we're getting to the point where the use of hard state-funded military and intelligence assets are going to be needed to put a check to these drug cartels. Normal law enforcement operations against these very well-funded drug cartels are simply not going to be very effective, because many of these drug cartels are now acting like a cross between a hybrid terrorist organization, a very well-funded terrorist organization, and even a state actor and a state intelligence agency. These are the sort of assets that these cartels have. And the United States obviously would be hesitant to assist Mexico in, let's say, launching airstrikes against some of these drug cartel leaderships. And I think that is exactly what needs to happen. There was a Tom Clancy novel. It was set. It was done under the auspice of where the President of the United States has a friend who is killed at some point, and he utilizes the United States military to conduct airstrikes against these drug cartels. And what was the name of that? Patriot Gang. It escapes me, but there was also a movie on it. But I do believe that's the sort of resources that the state of Mexico is going to need to combat these drug cartels. And again, they're probably going to have to not just turn to the United States, but they're going to have to seek help from other nation states. And some of these nation states have had the opportunity to use hard military power against terrorist assets across the globe, and I think that is the way Mexico is going to have to treat these drug cartels. They're going to have to put the fear of God into these drug cartels. These cartel leaders are going to need to build bunkers to hide from some of the assets that the Mexican army and intelligence agencies should be able to use against these drug cartels. And they're going to have to be aggressive, and they're going to have to be tenacious, and they're going to have to be willing to be just as aggressive and dirty as the drug cartels. The drug cartels are going to need to fear for their very existence in order for this to stop. Because right now they're emboldened. And right now they're setting out and killing innocent people. They're killing the innocent family members of police officers. And obviously they are killing police officers who will not take their coin and turn a blind eye to some of the abuses that the cartels are using against the Mexican people. And it's going to be a resumption of violence. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be brutal. But if Mexico is seeking to continue as a democratic state, it is going to have to take action against these cartels. I am currently not sure that, in fact, the president of Mexico Obrador is not directly on the payroll or possibly even a plant of the drug cartels. When you have a sitting president inside of Mexico City who continues to declare there should be hugs and not bullets, while law enforcement officers inside of Mexico are being quite literally butchered and killed every single day. Not one or two, but many at times. And still, this policy of appeasement and not wanting to confront these drug cartels are omnipresent. And if this continues and you see this occur against the army, the Mexican army, which is possible, and we have seen it, who's to say that the army finally does not say, hey, you know what, we're done with this, and there is a coup d'etat in Mexico. So, in terms of having a thriving Mexico is very important to the United States. A stable, thriving Mexico is incredibly important. And I think the United States and other nation states, including Mexico, need to take a hard look and start looking at using very significant and hard, brutal military power against these drug cartels. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.